Morning everybody, thanks for checking back in. So we're officially today hitting the road proper. So we've headed down from Port Macquarie to a place in Sydney called Camden, out southwest Sydney. Had a family reunion for Zoe's family, and today we've just done the pack up this morning, said goodbye to everybody, and yeah, we're southbound. We're going to spend 4 nights in Jervis Bay. So I've been doing the check over of the rig. I've taken the cruiser off, put fuel in, topped it up, aired up the airbags, checked the oil and things like that. I've done all of the hookups and I'm just doing the final check over of the van, and it's looking good, just checking everything's locked and in place and nothing's loose, etc. And yeah, we'll take off and hit the road. So the next spot is Jervis Bay. Bring it on. First stop of the day. We've just come in an hour. Zoe's started up to Coles, just get some bits and pieces for lunch and a couple of supplies. The rig has gone well. I'll turn this around. A couple of big hills and bits and pieces to go up and down. But yeah, the cruiser's done rather well. When I stopped a couple of times after the big hills, I noticed I could smell a bit of the brake smell from the caravan. But this is really the first time that these... GTI. This is really the first time that the brakes on the caravan have had a really good, proper workout. I'm pretty happy with the way it's towing and the way it's all going on. It all seems to be going quite nicely. So yeah, I tow it about 85, 90, 95 k's depending on how the road is. And yeah, it seems to go quite well. I'm doing at the moment about 18.5, 19 litres per 100, but that includes some time not towing as well, so I'm expecting that to creep up to somewhere between the 20 and 21 with more time towing. So yeah, we'll see you down at Jervis Bay, I reckon. We're here at the pet ranch, so we're staying in Jervis Bay, and Peaches is now coming with us. So yeah, we've had Peaches for 14 odd years, and we tried her staying at the house with our friends, but she was probably fretting a bit and not that into it, missing us a bit too much. So she back to the plan where she's coming with us, and we're just staying at Jervis Bay, which is National Park, kids, and it's probably about half an hour that way. And so yeah, when we're in national parks, the only change to our trip is really that we'll put Peaches in a kennel when we're at national parks and bits and pieces in places that she can't go. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. You smell all the other dogs. Good on ya. There it is. So here we are, Green Patch Campground in Jervis Bay National Park. Yeah, it was a good drive down. We arrived sort of mid-afternoon and got ourselves set up, reversed in. We've got a good site. We've got site number 28, and you can sort of just reverse straight up in, level out the caravan and off you go. So it's not a bad spot. We've got amenities over here with hot running showers, which is really cool, all supplied by the national parks. Right just down here, at the corner of our campsite, which is pretty lucky for us, is firewood. So just in here, they supply cut firewood for us, which Cooper's trying to collect some. You gonna get some firewood for us, buddy? So he's collecting bits and pieces of pre-cut firewood for us. Just down through there's a lagoon, and there's a walk that goes all the way up and around and pops out on the beach, which is a really, really nice spot. It's quite busy actually. So we've arrived on a Sunday. Yeah, we've arrived on a Sunday, and my assumption was Sunday night to Thursday morning, which is when we're leaving, wouldn't be too busy, but honestly I reckon they're probably at about 75-80% capacity here. But yeah, it's obviously a very, very popular spot. There was lots of weekend traffic heading out. It was basically a traffic jam on the way out, and we were on the way in, so all that Sunday the weekend visitors and things heading out. So yeah, it's a really, really cool spot. Like a rainforest for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
A creek in that. Oh, we're gonna walk across the creek.
Yeah, nice wet joggers.
Oh.
We need yeah, bit of campfire going tonight. Got a bit of a Zippo tinder. Jameso's on the camera duty for me at the moment, which is good. So Zippo tinder, which I quite like. It's good stuff. Get a lit. Is that happening in there? There you are. Want to get a close up in there?
I put some plywood in.
It's ripping now. Clean down the barbecue plate. Time to cook some snags. What do you reckon, Koopy? The snags were still a bit frozen when we got them out. We forgot to get them out to lunch. So I usually cook sausages like this, but split them down the middle and get them all crispy on the inside. And it's a little cheating way of getting them cooked up. Everything else is ready to go, and I am hungry. Here's my little hot tip. So usually when you split these out and you put the inside, or the non-casing side down on the hot plate, they'll stick for a bit, and you know that they're ready to go and flip over. When see that, they come up nice and easy. Oh, look at that. End up with a perfectly crispy, crunchy middle section there. And a little bit more on the other side and they'll be good to go. How's dinner, everybody?
Delicious.
Delicious. Why is there white on the corn?
Oh, just some of the bits are white, dude.
How's dinner? Good? Awesome. Not a bad spot for it. So the fire where we cooked over just behind this sort of camp kitchen area here. Yeah, quite good. Oh, no way.
Yeah. Can you get them away from me? I want to try and feed it.
Don't think they work like that, boys. They must be very used to people. Hey, be careful. How cool is that? And camp is just over behind that caravan.
If I see a nice little kangaroo, I would have had it. But if it wants,
Very cool, hey? Update. It's Wednesday today, and as you can see, we have managed to find a beautiful spot here at Blenheim Beach. I've set up and done some work on the laptop. The boys are just over there playing on the rocks. It is an absolute beautiful spot here. Unfortunately, there's a heap of wind that's coming over and there's all white caps and stuff out on there. So, you know, a little bit of hunting around and a hot tip from one of the campers at our campsite there led us onto this spot, and I'm bloody glad they did, because it's just perfect here and it's warm enough in the sun that we can jump in and go for a swim and have a good time. Most of the other beaches, we went for a drive around yesterday, just really windy. So yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. Each time I've been to Jervis Bay, it's been windy or raining or just generally a bit of a pain in the butt. But anyway, what do? We've managed to find a couple of little pockets, like Caves Beach was beautiful the other day, and Blenheim Beach here is great. So yeah, I've taken the boys out myself. I've left Zoe at the caravan. Bit of an update on the caravan too. Yeah, so with the caravan, I found out with the 200 series, and again, this is something that I should have known, but I'm learning on the road. I don't think I've ever been charging the house batteries in the caravan off the 200 series. The reason being is that the 200's alternator has like this resistor system or resistor fuse in it, and I reckon I've been seeing about 13.8 volts tops, even at highway speeds in that thing. That's a problem because the projector PM435BT, the system that I've got in the caravan to run my batteries and charge everything, it won't start charging off the car until it sees 14 volts, and then it will continue to charge until it drops down to 13.5 volts. So that's a problem, because I've been driving along the highway, we've been towing and things like that, and I've been thinking, yeah, okay, this is charging up my batteries. When in actual fact, all I've been doing is getting solar the whole time, and a little bit of 240 when I've been plugged into 240. So two things. One, that's really good in that my 400 amp of Enerdrive lithium is absolutely ripping along, and my 600 watts of solar on the caravan is doing a really, really good job at keeping us going. Bad thing, up until sort of yesterday, we've had a bit of cloud. Over the past week, a bit of rain, and the particular site that we're in, as you saw when we pulled up, we've got this massive couple of fig trees over the van, which looks beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful spot, but I reckon I get like half an hour sunlight during the day on 1.5 of my panels tops. So there's really not enough to keep us going when we're charging things, running appliances like the coffee machine and things like that, plus running the fridge constantly, plus our lights, water pump, etc, etc. It's really just not enough. So I'm thinking that when I left Sydney, and I drove down here. I've obviously got no charge. It was a bit cloudy and things like that, so I reckon I've pulled up and the batteries might have been at 70%, and I haven't checked. I should have, you know, that's my fault. I absolutely should have checked, but my assumption's been, yep, okay, I've been driving, it's been charging. Lesson learned. Anyway, what I'm going to do, and I'll drop a screenshot in here now while I'm talking about it, I'm going to install, I'm going to buy and get posted to me an ABR Sidewinder voltage booster. So it's a diode which tricks the computer into thinking that it's not, the alternator is not producing as much voltage as it is. And then I should see about a 0.5 volt increase. So the 13.8 that I'm getting on the highway now, yeah, I'll be seeing that 14.3 or so. So I'll be able to charge the batteries. Yeah, so that should fix my problem there. Everything else is going really well. I can't fault it, and that's purely just something that I didn't know. And it's apparently it is an absolute. Everybody knows it about Toyotas, and it's out there, all modern Toyotas, but yeah, just not something I put any research into or thought about. So lesson learned, and we'll continue on.